Hello, my name's Moira Butterfield and I write children's books. I've got a new one coming out called The Secret Life of Birds. This is my garden. This is my bird feeder. I put out seeds and fat balls and the birds come to eat them and I can watch them from my house. The book is published by Quarto and it's illustrated by Vivian Mineker. And inside, a little bird called Speedy will show you round the world of birds. She's a type of bird called a swift, and she's a super fast flyer. Here's what she tells us at the beginning of the book. Speedy shows us what it's like to be a bird, and she introduces us to her bird friends around the world. Or we can learn about their fabulous feathers, nests and chicks, as well as their amazing flying journeys. And Speedy tells us some bird stories from around the planet too. I hope you'll enjoy flitting here and there with her. You know, birds are all around us and they can be really interesting to watch. The other day, I went along to a bird reserve. It's a great place to see birds doing all sorts of things. Here I am at the bird reserve. I've got some binoculars. They help me to see faraway things close up. I can watch wild birds through the window without scaring them. Now we're going into a special bird watching building called a hide. It's a special hut with a great view of wild birds out on a nearby lake. Inside there are seats for bird watchers to make themselves comfortable and windows for looking out. Here are some bird watchers in the hide. Wow, they've got some great cameras set up on tripods. They're going to take photos of the interesting birds on the lake outside. I wonder what they're going to see. Ah, here's a handy board in the hide. It lists the birds that people have spotted recently. Black-tailed godwit, redshank, ruff, snipe, lapwing. There are loads of names here. It's a good time to be bird watching from this hide. There are lots of beautiful swans visiting this bird reserve. Can you see one sticking its head underwater? It's feeding on water plants and tiny creatures such as water snails. This swan is preening. It's using its beak to clean and arrange its feathers, and it's spreading waterproof body oil all over them. Water birds make lots of the oil to help keep them dry. Watch this swan at the front. It's feeding, but it's also picking up clumps of grass and putting them behind it. I think it's starting to build a nest, and I think these two swans are a pair. They're going to lay eggs and raise babies together. Baby swans are called cygnets, by the way. Here's something pretty special, the rarest geese in the whole world. They're called nays, and they come from Hawaii, where nays almost died out. This bird reserve is helping to breed new nays to release back into the wild. These two are called Fred and Ginger, by the way. The nay eggs are carefully looked after and hatched inside this heated box. It's called an incubator. Let's meet some paddling champions. These ducks have wide feet that are webbed, which means there is skin stretched between each toe to make great water paddles. Other types of birds have feet that are shaped differently, perhaps for perching on a branch or for swooping down and grabbing a meal. But ducks and other water birds are the webbed wonders. These ducks are having a rest. Ducks might take a nap several times a day, and some ducks will even sleep floating on the water. I'm back from the bird reserve. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the trip. Now I'm going to read you one of the bird stories from my book. And it's about kookaburras, Australian birds who are world famous for their laughing sound. The first kookaburra couldn't sing as sweetly as the other birds in the bush, but it didn't bother him. Nothing much upset him, not even his neighbour, the show-off lyrebird. I am the best singer in the bush, the lyrebird announced to all the birds one day. I could copy every one of your songs and do them better than you do. The other birds began to get angry at this, but the kookaburra just shrugged. Who cares if one bird is better at singing than another? Thinking about it won't make anyone happy. Let's just do the best we can, the kookaburra said, and he stretched out his wings in the sun. The other birds weren't so relaxed. They shook their feathers in anger. How dare you say that, lyrebird, they huffed and puffed. Let's just see if you're right, shall we? Then they took it in turns to sing the very best way they could. However, each time a bird sang, the lyrebird stepped up and copied them, singing their own songs better than they did. "Oh, really, that's so rude," the others blustered. But for now, it seemed as if the lyrebird had been right to boast. The Kookaburra was watching the commotion and thought it was all so funny that he laughed loudly. The lyrebird thought it was the Kookaburra's song and he tried to copy it. He squawked. The Kookaburra laughed even louder. The lyrebird tried again. Oh no, he just couldn't copy that special sound. "I give up," said the lyrebird grumpily. At that, the Kookaburra laughed so long and so loudly that the whole of the bush rang with his chuckles. He cheered everyone up, even the lyrebird, who was forced to admit that the Kookaburra was right. Being boastful won't make you happy, but laughing will. Perhaps you'll write a bird story yourself once you've read The Secret Life of Birds. If you do, make a lovely picture or two to go with your story, like Vivian Mineker did for my book. And don't forget to watch the birds near where you live, perhaps with a pair of binoculars, to find out their secrets.